Hey everybody, Doc Wallace here. I'm in Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
And I'd like you to meet my friend Maggie. We're having some fun in the snow today.
It's about 26 degrees and it's snowing out. And I'm here because I had a performance this morning at Ardmore First Presbyterian. They're doing an annual spiritual enrichment retreat and I was playing Bach's Chaconne. But guess what? One of the church's boilers broke today. So the chapel where I was performing was about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold. And to complicate matters, there was about 40 minutes of talking before I played, so my hands really didn't have a chance to be still warmed up in the same way as if I'd just been playing the instrument. But I did a lot of the things that I was telling you in the last video. I kept my hands in my pockets or on my neck. I kept flexing them. I kept making sure they were flexible. And I also did a very thorough warm-up that morning. So I actually did play and make sure that my fingers were ready to play before the session started. What was really cool was at that performance was Abel, who for decades was a percussionist with the Philadelphia Orchestra, and he had some great advice that I want to share with you because it was not stuff that I said in the last video. So one of the things Alan was talking about was a lot of orchestral musicians have to face the reality of playing cold. For instance, percussionists often have to count for many, many, many bars, and then maybe they only play an instrument for a few seconds, and that's it. Then they rest some more, they move on to a different instrument. So it's not like a violinist or a pianist where you can really spend your time getting comfortable, and so that's a regular reality. Similarly, woodwind players may be sitting for many, many minutes or measures. Like there's a great clarinet solo from Scheherazade that he mentioned, where the clarinetist is sitting for so long, and then they have to play cold. So, what do you do? Alan said when he would coach his percussion students on excerpts, he would work on them till they could get them perfect so that all the details are there. And so they'd get to a point where they'd say, yeah, I can nail it. And then he got this smile and said, and then I'd say, can you play it cold? You know you can play something cold if you play it cold. You can test yourself to see if you can play something cold. So for instance, yesterday, I decided let's run the whole Chaconne without any warm-up. Let's see what happens. And I did it. I noticed how things felt. I noticed what felt comfortable. I noticed what needed fixing and needed some more help. And so that showed me what I could play cold and what I couldn't play cold. And the stuff that you can't play cold, you practice. So you can do that too. Take out your instrument without a warm-up, play whatever it is, see how it goes, maybe video yourself or tape record yourself, and make note of stuff that you need to practice and work on and fix it. Then do it again the next day or later. Maybe even set an alarm clock in the middle of the night. Can you get up at 2 in the morning and play this piece from memory completely perfectly? And if something goes wrong, well, you know what you need to do to fix it. So test yourself. Play cold. Get better at it, and then just keep playing cold. And then playing cold's not going to be something you're afraid of. It will happen, like today. A boiler may break. It may be 60 degrees in the chapel that you're playing in, but you're going to be able to do it. Okay, that's Doc Wallace with a bonus hint on playing with cold hands. Hi everybody, it's Doc Wallace. I'm back in New York where it's rainy and the snow is still piled higher than my head. And I want to record just a few extra thoughts because I had a question from one of my subscribers, Vi Wickham, who's also the founder of mytalentforged.com. If you don't know Vi the Fiddler's Tune a Day series or his YouTube channel, here's a link where you can check those out. And he is playing a wedding on top of a Colorado mountaintop next weekend, and the temperatures will be below freezing. And so he was curious if I had any extra thoughts about that. I would say that all the points of the last video still apply, and I would underscore some things. So like, in addition to making sure that you've got some very thick wool socks, I would also wear some insulated boots, snow boots. So if you've got your feet and legs nice and warm, That'll help the hands. Also get some gloves that have holes for the fingers but keep everything else covered. And you might even want to have a pair of mittens on handy to put on over them to keep your hands warm between the segments where you're playing. You know, as long as you don't make the fingers sweat and get the evaporative cooling effect. I would go to a camping store or a ski shop and buy some hand warmers. These are hot hands. Basically, it's little packets where you set off a chemical reaction and it'll give you about 10 hours of warmth. If you have one in each pocket, that's a good way to slip your fingers in and get some warmth in between the time you're playing. And if it's going to be a long time, you might want to bring a thermos of some hot soup, hot herbal tea, something like that you can drink or also put your fingers on to give you a little bit of warmth. And if you're warm inside, that'll also help the hands to be warmer too. But once again, beware that caffeine can cause vasoconstriction, and you don't want tight veins because tight veins equals cold hands. And just as a final thought, take care of your instrument. You want to reduce the time that it's exposed to extreme cold. And once you're out of the cold, be sure that you get a humidifier in there to guard against some of the dryness or cracking or stuff that can happen when instruments are exposed to too much cold and dryness. So Vi, let us know how it goes. Make a response video or make a little video while you're at the wedding. So that way we know what to do the next time, say we're playing at a presidential inauguration in January and it's 0 degrees outside. All right, everybody, thanks so much. Stay warm, stay dry.